Further, for people who are involved in any kind of inner exploration, both on their own or in therapy, or in any kind of contemplative practice, like someone who does meditation or yoga routinely, the subject of happiness is really important. On the one hand, within the perspective of certain spiritual practices or traditions, there are important questions about turning happiness into some new object of craving and desire and clinging, actually leading to more suffering. The larger question is, of course, what is beneficial for a particular person at a particular time? For example, even within the framework of a tradition such as Buddhism, that is fundamentally and profoundly renunciate at its core, in which, for example, the guiding principle is that nothing whatsoever is to be clung to, the deliberate cultivation of happiness is a kind of raft that one uses to cross the river of suffering to get to the farther shore. Once you get there, you don't keep hauling the raft. You don't need it anymore. But even there, in a state of full awakening or enlightenment, there is what's called the highest happiness, which is peace. And meanwhile, happiness is definitely skillful means. For example, to use the Buddha as the major teacher I'm most familiar with, and I encourage you to consider the teachings that you know best yourself, such as those from other traditions, such as Christianity or Judaism or others. The Buddha did encourage the happiness visible in this present life. He also said we should gladden the heart and fill the mind with positive feelings of loving kindness and joy at the happiness of others. Fundamentally, through practices of happiness, you are cultivating wholesome qualities in your mind and heart and crowding out and replacing negative ones. Further, in the frame of contemplative practice, happiness promotes steadiness of mind, which, besides its general benefits at work and at home, is necessary for any fruitful meditation. For example, it's recommended that you saturate yourself with bliss, like infusing a ball of bath powder with water. Interestingly, backing up these ancient teachings with modern neuroscience, researchers are discovering that it looks like high levels of the neurotransmitter dopamine that are associated with joy help keep the gate of awareness shut to being flooded by new experience, and therefore support steadiness of mind in meditation and life in general. Also, it's recommended that you use the more sublime pleasures of higher levels of joy to help draw you away from lower and potentially harmful pleasures of ordinary life. And last, in any faith tradition or any endeavor in life, happiness builds confidence in the fruits of one's efforts. And in addition to the general benefits of that, for example, conviction or faith, confidence in other words, is a major engine of practice and perseverance. For example, just to pick one tradition again, Buddhism, it is one of the 7 factors of enlightenment, confidence in the fruits of your own efforts. Now, at this point, you might be wondering about something or having something stirring in the back of your mind that is there for many people. And that's the feeling that you do not actually deserve to be happy. If that feeling or belief is present in any way, it is important to bring it into your awareness. Accept that it exists and examine it closely. For example, if there is any sense inside you right now, or you know it has come up for you in the past that you do not actually deserve to be happy, what does that sense feel like emotionally? What does it feel like in your body? What thoughts are associated with it? What desires or yearnings feel connected with that sense that you do not deserve to be happy? And what previous life experiences might be associated with the sense of being undeserving of happiness, especially life experiences from childhood. This sort of reflection, uncomfortable sometimes as it may be, can help you see that feelings that you do not deserve to be happy, for example, that maybe it's too selfish or vain, or you'll be punished somehow, or happiness will make you let down your guard, and that's when bad things happen, or that you are actually deep down a pretty bad person who should not feel happy, but instead should feel ashamed. This sort of reflection can help you see that these feelings do not come out of the blue, but are based on conditions in your life, and a lot based on the messages you got from other people, or the conclusions you drew when you were a little kid. In other words, the idea that you do not deserve to be happy is, honestly, potentially a kind of delusion, even a sort of self-indulgence that harms you and other people. There's a story that once someone told the Dalai Lama that he just did not feel that he deserved to be happy. And so it was really hard for him to allow the benefits of meditation or other parts of spiritual life to really blossom and bear fruit in his mind. And for many people that had heard the Dalai Lama many times, he was stern with this man in a way that he had never been before, in which he said to the man very firmly, "No, that is completely wrong. That is a delusion. It's a delusion in your mind to think that you do not deserve to be happy. You hurt yourself with that belief and other people around you. Drop it and move on. It's absolutely not true." You've heard the benefits of happiness that I just went through, including many of the ways that your own happiness benefits others. If you knew another person inside out the way you know yourself, really, do you not think that it would be appropriate and fair for that person to be safe from harm? To be healthy? To be contented and free from suffering and at ease? Of course you would. You may not deserve more happiness than the other 6 billion people on the planet, but you certainly do not deserve any less. In many of the meditations we'll be doing, we will be nurturing your sense of compassion and goodwill for yourself, your sense of true worth, the accumulated force of goodness that you have gradually developed in your life through your own sincere efforts. But for right now, if only intellectually, please consider the basic all-rightness of you being more grounded in well-being, contentment, and peace.